Could you really survive in ancient Egypt? Most folks picture shiny pyramids, mighty pharaohs, and endless glory, right? But the reality? It's way darker than you think. Picture this. The Nile is crawling with parasites that sneak into your body, the streets smell like death, and survival means squatting in the sand while everyone stares. Welcome to the real Egypt, not the one you read about in history books. As soon as you step in, the heat hits you like a ton of bricks. The air, it's a mix of sweat, smoke, and rot. Life is cheap here. Water is hard to come by, and death is everywhere. The streets are dirty with no toilets in sight. You've got narrow paths piled high with waste, rotting food, and even dead animals and people. Back then, no one had the luxury of privacy. When nature calls, you squat in the sand while everyone watches. Awkward, right? And it gets worse. Water is a precious commodity. The Nile? Full of parasites that can crawl up your urethra and lay eggs inside you. Yep, you heard me. Ancient Egypt might sound like an adventure, but it's not all pyramids and gold. Life there is tough and dangerous. So are you ready to find out if you've got what it takes to survive in this brutal world? Let's jump back in time and see how long you could last. Slavery? It's the real deal. If you're not a pharaoh, you're basically a slave. Men, women, and kids work long hours for peanuts, building massive pyramids and digging tombs for the rich. Most people are farmers, growing wheat and tending to fields. Try to run away? Soldiers will catch you and drag you back, no hesitation. They'll slap you in chains and put you right back to work. Rulers often have slaves to entertain them, but this isn't your typical party. We're talking dancing with poisonous snakes, fighting wild bulls, and even human sacrifices. Yep, you heard that right, sacrifices. Pharaohs would sacrifice people to keep themselves happy. Nowadays, we understand mental health better and offer therapy, but back then, rulers were seen as gods. If they had a problem, they'd just blame someone else and sacrifice them. Can you imagine going to work and finding out your boss decided to have you sacrificed today? Talk about a stressful work environment. Would you stick it out or bolt before it's too late? If you tried to escape, chances are you'd end up dead. So maybe your current job isn't so bad after all. Now let's talk about the Great Flood. Imagine standing knee-deep in water, clutching a small boat, trying to keep your head above the rising tide. The Nile is overflowing and the rain just keeps coming. You look around, but everything is flooded. There's nowhere to go. The path behind you, covered in water. To your right, a big cliff, but the water's rising faster than you can climb. You glance left and see some houses with flat roofs. Maybe you can climb onto one of those. You jump off the boat and sprint to the nearest house, reaching the roof, just as the water engulfs everything below. You survived the flood, but now you're stranded. The water has washed away all the roads and bridges. You're stuck. What's next? First things first. You need food and water. You look around and spot some fruit on a tree. As you reach for it, something slithers down your arm. A snake. You scream and fall. As you lie there, you realize the flood brought more than just rain. It's brought snakes, rats, and mosquitoes. Mosquitoes buzz around looking for a tasty snack. Snakes slither by, hunting for their next meal. Rats scurry through the debris, searching for food. And to top it all off, the flood has brought disease. People are getting sick and dying all around you. Some are bitten by snakes, while others suffer from malaria or other infections. Without clean water and enough food, desperation sets in. Fights break out over the little resources left. Some try to leave the island, but most stay put because it's too dangerous. Who knows how long you'll be stuck here? The Nile might recede soon, or it could take weeks or even months. The Egyptian sun beats down relentlessly, making everything worse. With each passing day, hope starts to fade. Will you survive the flood? It all depends on your choices. Did you help others? Stay calm and find food? Or did you panic and lose your mind? Now let's wander through the Great Pyramid of Giza. You're in awe of its size and beauty, but suddenly you hear a rumble. The ground shakes, and a massive boulder crashes down. You leap out of the way just in time, heart racing. As you explore deeper, you stumble upon a hidden chamber. Inside is a sarcophagus covered in hieroglyphics. As you read the inscriptions, you realize it's the tomb of an unknown pharaoh. Just as you reach out to touch it, a trap door opens beneath you, and you plummet into a dark hole. You land with a thud in a maze of tunnels. The air is heavy and stale, with only a few beams of light breaking through the cracks in the ceiling. As you venture deeper, strange symbols decorate the walls. You're now far from the bustling entrance of the pyramid. The temperature drops, and a chill wind sweeps through the tunnels. You're not alone. Suddenly you hear the sound of scurrying insects and the occasional squeak of bats. Then you hear a screech. You freeze, trying to identify the source. A huge black scorpion scuttles towards you, pincers raised. You scream and run, stumbling over rocks in the dark, the scorpion hot on your heels. You find a small chamber and lean against the wall, trying to catch your breath. But your relief is short-lived. Turning around, you see the scorpion blocking the only exit. Trapped, you back away slowly, knowing that any sudden movement could provoke it. Just when you think it's game over, you spot a tiny opening in the wall. Squeezing through, you find yourself in a secret passage. The air is thin and dusty, making it hard to breathe. You cough, trying to clear your throat, but the passage seems endless. Finally, a glimmer of light appears ahead. Pushing through the darkness, you emerge into a small chamber. In front of you stands a massive stone door, adorned with ominous hieroglyphics. Behind this door lies your fate. Will you unlock the secrets of the pharaoh's curse, or meet your end in the depths of the pyramid? Now let's talk about the curse of mummification. You wake up in a dark, dank room, your body aching and your mind foggy. The air is thick with decay, and buzzing flies fill your ears. You try to sit up, but your vision blurs, and you collapse back onto the cold stone floor. You vaguely remember being bitten by a venomous snake while exploring the Egyptian desert. Now you're stuck somewhere between life and death. You hear voices approaching, and panic sets in. You hide under a nearby table, hoping to go unnoticed. Two men enter, faces grim and tools in hand. They've come for your body. As they approach, you hold your breath, praying they won't see you. They're priests, ready to prepare you for mummification, a process that'll preserve your body for eternity. They ignore you and get to work, removing your organs, wrapping you in bandages, and covering you in resin. You want to scream, but no sound escapes. They finish their gruesome task and leave you alone in the darkness. You struggle against the bindings, but it's no use. Your body is stiff and cold. You try to call out for help, but only a weak whisper escapes. You're trapped in your own hell, unable to move or speak. The realization hits hard. You're dead. The snake bite was too much. Now you're stuck here, unsure of what will happen to your soul. Will you wander forever or find peace? Let's talk about food. The grub in ancient Egypt isn't just gross. It could kill you. The main ingredients? Wheat, veggies, and fruits. But they don't wash their food, so it's crawling with germs. Meat? Risky. If it sits out in the sun too long, it spoils fast. The streets are filthy, and animals roam freely, eating the meat and leaving droppings everywhere. That means the meat could have parasites or other nasty stuff. Street food might seem like a quick fix, but who knows who cooked it or how long it's been sitting out. One wrong bite, and you could end up sick or stuck with a parasite for years. You could even poison yourself with natural plants. Many in Egypt are toxic, but people eat them anyway, thinking they're safe. Even if the food doesn't kill you, you probably won't like it. It's dry, salty, and bland. But hey, you've got to eat something because there's not much else around. It's not like you can order a pizza or grab a burger. Trust me, you don't want to risk starving. So grab a piece of bread, dip it in vinegar, and try to enjoy it. It's your choice. But don't complain about the food. Just think about how lucky you are to have it. Some folks in ancient Egypt didn't have enough to eat and died because of it. So keep your mouth shut and eat. If you whine,